Do you ever feel like there's so many things to do and you just can't get them all done? And it's like everyone's asking me to do one more thing, asking a bit more, and I don't even get time for myself. And it's never ending. No matter how much I give, no matter how much you give, there's always something. There's always someone who wants some free advice, a DM waiting for me, an email, a colleague that needs something. I don't even get time to go to the gym. There's so many things to do and it's overwhelming. Like, people talk about burnout from work. What about burnout from life, where you're trying to drink from an eternal hose pipe where everything's just rushing at you? Like, what do you do? How do you balance all of these different things, especially when it just stresses you out? Where do you go? If you're feeling like that as well, this video is for you, so keep watching. Hey guys, it's Keshav here, and if this is the first video of mine you've ever seen, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you ring the bell icon to be part of the notification squad, so you know every single time I drop a new daily video. And let's get into it. So what do you do? And I'm gonna give you 7 tips in this video. I thought I'd do a different format today where I'm kind of walking around with my dog, who's over there in the distance. The first thing that I want to say, out of the 7 tips that I'm going to give you, and a little caveat as well, none of what I'm going to share with you is a quick fix technique. If you're looking for a magic pill, this is not the video you should watch. I'm going to give you the proven strategies, but like with anything, it takes work. And you know, my friends over here will agree. So the first thing is, if you're feeling like too many people are asking too many things of you, every single time you say yes to somebody else's plan or agenda for you, you're saying no to yourself. So if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling overwhelmed, for whatever reason, it's your responsibility to manage, acknowledge, and respond to the emotions that you're feeling. And the first part of that might be saying no to people and yes to yourself. So be selfish if you have to. And in fact, I think you should drop the word selfish from your dictionary in favor of another word, being self-full. Think of it like a cup. The more you pour into yourself, you're overflowing. An analogy I give to a lot of my coaching clients when we're working on self-love and self-esteem is that, imagine you got a kitchen in your house, right? And there's a cupboard inside, and every single time you open it, there are 7 boxes of pizza. And every minute they multiply by 2. And a stranger knocks on your door and says, I'm really hungry, I'm homeless, can you give me some food? You would be more than happy for them to take some of these pizza boxes, because you're like, oh my God, I got too much. Think of it the same way, that when you pour into yourself, when you say yes to yourself, your cup then begins to overflow, and it's easier for you to pour into other people. The second tip is an obvious one, which we underestimate, and it's exercise. When you exercise, you deplete your body of the stress hormone cortisol, and you release all kinds of endorphins, dopamine, all this good stuff. That's not only good for your health, but it's good for your brain, it's good for your mind, it's good for your spirit. So if you're feeling stressed, the question I would ask myself, and I would ask you, is, when was the last time you exercised? Have you been today? Have you done 20 minutes of walking, of weightlifting, of skipping, dancing, rollerblading, surfing, whatever it is that you enjoy? But have you moved around? Because you're gonna feel less stressed when you're on a walk like this than when you are sitting down in front of your computer or on your phone or in the dark on your own. Go somewhere, move around, do something. But exercise is a really powerful way to manage your stress. And this is something that every single person watching this video should be doing on a daily basis. Even if it's just a short 20-minute walk with your dog, where you're not doing anything, but you're listening to an audiobook, you're thinking about what's stressing you out, but you're giving yourself that time and that space to really think for yourself. The third one is vent. Do you have someone or somewhere where all that pent-up frustration and anger and aggression and hurt and stress you can just express it freely without fear of being judged, without fear of how you might look or who you might be in that moment. And if you don't have someone like that, you can always write it down on a piece of paper. That's all you need, is a piece of paper like this, where you're just writing down, I'm annoyed because of this, and this is how it makes me feel. And then once it's on there, a really powerful way, if you don't want to keep it, is burn it. So you're literally watching all those things in a very cathartic way, just being burnt away, and you're able to let go and release them. And this is something that, you know, if you have a coach, a mentor, it's a really powerful place to do these things, because you have an objective person listening to you, challenging you, who's not there to be your friend, who's not there to be your yes person, but is there to say, okay, I'm hearing what you're feeling, and this is what I see, and this is what I notice. Have you noticed this? So that you're able to get a third-party perspective on the blind spot that you have. Maybe tip number 4 is the most important. It's the most long-term, because with any kind of stress, you can respond in 3 ways. You can do something short-term to distract you, and that has its place. You can box it and express it, like I mentioned earlier, or you can deal with it in a long-term way. And number 4 is, what are your stress relieving strategies? I'm on a walk with my dog. It's hard to be upset or stressed when you're messing around with your dog, you're going for a walk, you're playing fetch, all these cool things. But write down ahead of time and have a system in place that helps you to manage and relieve that stress. A really good quote that I like from a guy called James Clear, he said, you don't rise to the level of motivation you have, you fail to the level of your system. So what are your coping strategies? What are your strategies that help you to thrive? Because you're not just trying to cope. So write those down and think of things like reading, writing, walking, exercising, and fall back on those defaults in moments of extreme stress or even medium-term stress. And remember, stress is a cumulative thing. Number 5, it's a hidden technique. You ready for the magic trick? Whenever your state changes, your mood, your emotion, imagine I gave you a technique, a way of noticing it before it actually hits you. Wouldn't that be useful? And the trick is breathing. The moment your emotions change, the first thing to change is your breathing. So if you can notice, what's happening to my breathing? Is my body tense? And really, this is just about becoming more mindful in the moment, not mindless in the moment. And thinking through, what are the thoughts that I'm experiencing? How do I react to those thoughts? And when those waves come, whether it's a breakup you've been through, whether it's just work-related, life-related, whatever it might be, what are the things that are appearing in your mind, and how are you reacting to that? Because most of the time, it's not the events that stress us out, it is our story about them, about who it makes us in that moment, of how we are showing up, and the way that we react to those thoughts. And just remember, thoughts are things, but they're also sometimes misleading. So don't believe every single thought you have. Notice it like the clouds in the sky. Like it's just another leaf rolling through the wind, just passing by. It arises and it passes. And this wave that's coming, it's hitting you right now where you feel really emotional. That's okay. Accept it. Go for a walk. Pause. Don't react. Respond. Number 5, and I'm probably quite guilty of this because I'm somebody who's very proactive and I like giving a lot, is trying to do way too much. If you're feeling stressed, think of it like a bucket or a phone even. The more apps you use on your phone, the quicker you deplete the energy, the battery power on your phone. Whereas if you charge it up, you slow down, you use one app at a time, it performs much better. A really simple quote and philosophy that I like to try and live by is ease creates and urgency destroys. And the more things that we're doing, you know, even for example, right now making daily videos, it's quite a stressful thing to think of new ideas every day, to create new, interesting, innovative content that keeps you engaged, that gets the point across quickly. But the slower I do that, you know, counterintuitively, the more I slow down, the easier it gets. Whereas if I get myself worked up and I get really urgent and I feel all this pressure, it blocks my creativity. It creates stress, it creates tension. So create space. You know, if you were driving, you leave a bit of a gap between you and the other car. you leave a certain amount of a buffer. So in your own life, for example, if you're revising and you're a student, try to get ahead, try to work through it every day so that you're chipping away at that thing that's going to stress you out if you don't. But find a way to do less, but more powerfully. Ease creates and urgency destroys. And a final technique, tip, hack, whatever you want to call it, is perfectionism. A lot of the times, the reason why you feel stressed out, the reason why you're feeling all worked up is because you're trying to reach an impossible goal. You're trying to be too perfect. But realize that you want to move away from what I like to call the all or nothing mindset, where you only want it to be 100% perfect or nothing at all. Because it's easy when you don't do anything at all to say, okay, cool, I've failed. But when you're okay with being complete rather than perfect, it just removes a lot of the tension. So if you're trying to do something creative, even if you're just trying to revise, stop trying to have the perfect workout or the perfect revision plan or the perfect video. Just focus on being present and doing the best you can with what you have. Stop comparing yourself to other people and just be here in this spot that you're in this moment. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of this different style of content. I just shot this on my phone, nothing too scripted, nothing too edited either. I wanted to kind of take you on this journey with me on this walk, and tell me in the comments down below, which one of these are you actually going to use? Because it's not about theory on this channel. If you're part of my subscriber squad, or you're part of Team KB, or whatever you want to call it, it's about being a practitioner, about becoming the best version of you and following your inner compass with everything that you have. And the stresses are going to come. But like I said earlier, you're not going to rise to the level of motivation you have. You're going to fail to the level of your system, to the level of your stress dealing strategies. So let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you're interested in finding out which of the 3 personalities you are, check out my free quiz, and otherwise comment and subscribe and like and share the video. Help me out, support the channel. Peace.